What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA
Thursday, July 30th.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
NBA is back. I'm so excited that the NBA is back. So let's get into this two-game main slate. At point guard, I like Reggie Jackson from the LA Clippers playing the LA Lakers, who have a pretty good defense overall, and they're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing point guards. Reggie Jackson has averaged 23.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 24 minutes per game with a 24% usage rate. He's projected at 20.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.4 times value. He's only $3,800 FanDuel salary and $800 more on DraftKings. He's going to be about 47% owned here tonight. Vegas thinks there's going to be 216 points in this game. So I like Reggie Jackson here versus the LA Lakers. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Donovan Mitchell from the Utah Jazz playing the New Orleans Pelicans, who have the 5th worst defense overall, and they give up the 12th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Donovan Mitchell has averaged 36.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with a 31% usage rate. He's projected at 36.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's $7,200 FanDuel salary and $200 less on DraftKings. He's going to be about 47% owned, and Vegas thinks there's going to be 224.5 points scored in this game. So I like Donovan Mitchell here versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Okay, who do we have at the small forward position? I like Kawhi Leonard from the LA Clippers playing the LA Lakers, who have a good defense overall. And although they've been good versus opposing small forwards, Kawhi Leonard has averaged 47.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. He's projected at 47.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's $9,500 FanDuel salary and $300 less on DraftKings. He's going to be about 53% owned tonight. So I like Kawhi Leonard here versus the LA Lakers.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
And if you need to pay down a little bit at the small forward position, I like Brandon Ingram from the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Utah Jazz, who have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus opposing small forwards. But Brandon Ingram has averaged 40.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with a 28% usage rate. He's projected at 41.9 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.7 times value. He's $7,300 FanDuel salary and $1,000 more on DraftKings. He's going to be about 58% owned tonight. So I like Brandon Ingram here versus the Utah Jazz. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. Here's a value play for you. I like Marcus Morris from the LA Clippers playing the LA Lakers, who have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus opposing power forwards, but Marcus Morris has averaged 27.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 23% usage rate. He's projected at 25.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's 6 times value. He's only $4,200 FanDuel salary and $500 more on DraftKings. So I love that FanDuel price. He's going to be about 23% owned. So I like Marcus Morris here versus the LA Lakers. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz playing the New Orleans Pelicans, who have the 5th worst defense overall, and they give up the 12th most fantasy points to opposing centers. Rudy Gobert has averaged 40.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 35 minutes per game with a 16% usage rate. He's projected at 39.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.8 times value. He's $8,200 FanDuel salary, but he's $1,100 less on DraftKings. So I love that DraftKings price. He's going to be about 34% owned. So I like Rudy Gobert here versus the New Orleans Pelicans. And if you're looking for a value play at center, I like Zubac for the LA Clippers playing the LA Lakers. He's averaged 20.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 18 minutes per game with a 16% usage rate. He's projected at 21.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.7 times value. He's $4,500 FanDuel salary and the same price on DraftKings. He's going to be about 20% owned. So I like Zubac here versus the LA Lakers. And I gave this pick yesterday. I'm kind of going through a few of the picks that I gave in yesterday's video. But I also like JaVale McGee for the LA Lakers playing the LA Clippers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the 11th most fantasy points to opposing centers. JaVale McGee has averaged 19.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 17 minutes per game with a 15% usage rate. He's projected at 20.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.6 times value. He's $4,400 FanDuel salary and $800 less on DraftKings. So I love that DraftKings price. He's going to be about 7% owned. So I like JaVale McGee here versus the LA Clippers.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.